Hi, welcome to my journey. Well, we couldn't go to the senior center because they had closed the senior center. I forget, I think the 18th. I seen the 18th, but today's the 19th and it's closed today. So maybe there's a from and to date. So it's not Thanksgiving. Next weekend is Thanksgiving. Not really sure why it was closed, but I decided to come out and come to walk around this park. And this is nice. It's nice. It's a nice park. I had my protein drink, so I probably had like about 50 grams of protein. I had the minimum of the collagen and creatine. This is one of the things that I did not want to happen, right? I didn't want all of these weird ass representatives, calling me all day and all night. I don't know who they are. They don't know who I am. It gives me anxiety to have my phone ringing all the time by strangers. Okay? So I have three insurances that are needing to be either applied for or renewed. Health insurance has to be applied for, right? However, I kind of found out that you can only apply for Medicare like within 3 months of your 65th birthday. So that's a relief to know that at least I don't have to worry about these weird ass questions asking me what my income for 2026 is going to be, because I don't have a clue. I never would have thought my income would be what it was these last 5 years, these last 7 years, right? Because these last 7 years have been very precarious, okay? And I was doing my best just to keep paying my bills and trying to pay my bills on time, okay? However, the dam broke. The dam broke. And I am not able to pay my bills like that anymore, right? And even though I was able to keep paying my bills, it didn't matter. My credit score, it didn't go up anyway. Not much, right? So, yeah. Very tricky situation when it comes to your FICO score. I'm out walking. The pitties aren't with me. They are still shocked and appalled that they are not coming with me and being by my side in and out of the house. We had a storm last night. Rain was pouring down hard. Today it's about 68 degrees out. It's a lot cooler than it's been, right? Had to put on some leggings and a sweater vest and a hat. Okay, so still trying to make sure that I stay mobile, right? Because I'm going to tell you something. You may not walk very far when you get out, but the vibe that you get for being outside, it lingers a lot longer than, say, if I was to just go ahead and, work out on the treadmill or lift some light weights at the house. There's something about the energy that you pick up when you're outside. It lingers because you're picking up energies from outside of your immediate environment. Okay? So that's one of the reasons why I decided to come on out and take a walk, even if I couldn't work out, because I was really intending on going to go work out at the senior center, but the senior center is closed. And even when I was there, I should have read the sign to see when they were back open. But, I can't even tell you how disappointed I am, that our government agencies, cannot offer its services without lawyers, representatives, that, they don't have their own agency and everybody gets paid, I guess, by contract. And in the process, our government cannot monitor all of these people working through the government by contract, because they're just contractual workers. So I still got a little over 50 some days, to apply for medical. I have to see, what they're going to determine for the Social Security disability, because it seems to me they didn't even ask me, are you looking for disability insurance or are you looking for disability money? And of course, I would have said yes to both. Give me what I qualify for. Because, yeah, if I'm on disability, it's a lot more simpler for them to just transfer the information over from my Medicare card right, and give me my services. However, right now, they have to requalify a whole bunch of people because so many people were utilizing services that they didn't really qualify for. You know, they were using other people's ID, other people's benefits. You know, there was a lot of fraud going on. And these people, you know, are praying to God that they don't get caught, right? Not praying to God that, please let me get through this and give me like probation. No, these people are praying not to even get caught. So that's why I was saying a lot of people, you know, think that, you know, say their prayers get answered. They'll swear up and down that that prayer was answered by, you know, the Most High God, which no, it was answered by another entity. So the one thing that I do like about me getting out is at least, you know, I'm exercising the ability of getting out of the house for about an hour a day. Okay? And I know for some people they're like, what are you talking about? That's easy. Well, maybe it is easy. And there was a time when it was easy for me. Matter of fact, it used to be hard to get me to go home and stay home. It used to be hard. Right? Because, you know, I wanted to get into some things. So I was also watching some videos about, you know, some of our celebrities of the 70s and the 80s and 90s, and you know, their before and now pictures. Some of them, you know, they look really bad, suffering, you know, suffering illnesses, you know, while others, you know, you could say that you're suffering illnesses, but you know, once you're kind of like in your late 70s and 80s, you know, saying that you're suffering is kind of weird, right? Because you sort of expect that, you know, you're old, right? And the good thing about them being old, it's they suffer, yes, but they suffer with money, or they suffer with connections and influence, you know, because there are people that will bend over backwards just because, you know, they like a movie that they did, and it can work against them too, right? Because like me, I will probably never like Danny Glover because he will always remind me of Mr. You know, and Mr. was a pedophile, an abusive husband. Okay? So, yeah, Mr., if I call a man Mr., it's not a compliment. It's not. Yep. So, I almost ran out of coffee, so I'm gonna go pick up some more coffee. They have an Aldi's down here. I don't want to buy it here because I like to buy in my neighborhood to keep my neighborhood functioning and running good. Okay? When I can. But sometimes I don't even want to buy in my neighborhood if they make it unpleasant for me to purchase and spend my money there. I'll spend it somewhere else and give them support, which is how money works, right? The money works that way. It's like where you spend your money, that's where the support is going. Okay? So, yeah. I know damn well that car should not have followed me through that yellow light. Another Denali Yukon GMC. So I did put a chicken breast to slow cook in the oven before I left, and it is my plan to I don't know. I'm really thinking I need to eat some more salads, because what I have been eating with the bread and everything, I don't think it matters what kind of bread it is. I am really having like IBS problems. Right? So I do have my shopping bag with me. So it's now 68 degrees. But yeah, I'm thinking I want to get some potatoes, some coffee, now, if I can walk out of Aldi with just coffee and damn, I forget what else I said. Coffee and what? At my, fuck that candy shit. I'm today I woke up with that mind frame because of all of the vanilla milk pieces that I bought and I ate up last night like it was popcorn. And I feel like I already gained like 10 pounds in the last month. At the price of this coffee at the other stores, and it's cheapest at Aldi's. So I'm gonna have to go and get some of that coffee because I am down to like one scoop. Oh my God. I'm really thinking I need some kind of X-Lax or something because my IBS is flaring up. I tried to eat healthy. I did. I made, catfish, right, with carrots and some rice. Okay. I tried to restrict myself to eating nothing but that. And when I finished eating all of that I had cooked, that's when I went on to eating the marshmallows and the vanilla melts. Yeah, I just don't know what to do. I'm so disappointed in myself. Oh my God, look at them white birds. Can we eat those white birds? My God, those birds look like they're about 25, 30 pounds. And that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Can we eat them? Because they just be laying around here, I don't know, just waiting to die. Anyway. So at least I got a walk in. I can still do my lightweight exercises at home. I should continue to do them, even though I do walk. I need to do both, right? Because technically, realistically, you really should do at least, 15 to 20 minutes of aerobics and about a minimum of 10 minutes of lightweight exercises. Just to be normal. Not to be like healthy, but just to keep, that's like, how you get off into your car and you start the car so the car doesn't the battery doesn't die, and and you make sure that the tires are still inflated, and that the gasoline doesn't have like water condensation mixed up in it, stuff like that. That's what this minimum is for. This minimum is just, all I'm doing is just a minimum. Of course, I make it sound like it's a lot, because it is a lot to me. It's a lot. It doesn't matter what it is to somebody else. But believe me, that there are people out there that aren't even doing the minimum. They are not starting up their vehicle every day and making sure that, the ignition works. Okay, hold on. So, everybody and their mama has a video of how to do things, but not our government, right? Not our government. And you have to really ask yourself why, right? And it's because they thrive off of chaos and confusion, right? Just like, what I went through today, the confusion of the terminology, the jargon, right? They're making these assumptions that, all jargon is the same. No. in every industry, they utilize the jargon to mean different things, right? Just like when you're texting, right? OMG means oh my God, but if you were in the tech world, it would mean something different. If you was in the government, it would mean something different. You know, if you were in the financial industry, it would mean something different. If you was in every industry, it would mean something different. It's according to their jargon. And this is the audacity that I hate about Americans who will make it seem like everybody has the same information, or people should know this and people should know that, right? And yet, it's like, no, we don't know that, because why? First of all, there's supposed to be free competition in business and commerce, right? Therefore, don't sit up here and tell somebody just because they walked onto your property, they better buy something from you. Just because they came on your website, they need to give you something. Right? And we already know that's gaslighting. Why do we know it's gaslighting? Because if you wanted to be exclusive, you never would have allowed nobody to step up on your property without a payment interest, or having to go online and at least, have something in your cart. Okay. Right? But no, they want you to come in. They want you to check out the merchandise. They want you to come in and do impulsive buying, right? And I can't even tell you how bad that guy made me feel for not giving him a credit card number so that he didn't waste his time as a professional, which wasn't very professional. It really wasn't. Right? To me, professional is very much like a teacher, but to him, it seems like professional was trying to be an impulsive, purchase motivator. Right? Because I was supposed to be motivated because he would love to have this plan that he says I am getting, right? But they can't even guarantee that you're going to get the tax credit. And how are you even going to know that you're going to get the tax credit? Like I said, how do I know I'm going to get the tax credit? Because, like I was telling this lady, I said, I thought we don't pay taxes on our Social Security benefits. So how in the world am I going to get this tax credit back? So now I'm just confused. I got 57 days, 55 days, whatever, to figure it out. The sad part about it is you have all of these people out here claiming to be professionals, claiming to be of service to their customer, and they want commissions for their services. And yet, I'm already stating how unprofessional they are. They're not professional at all. And of course, I understand why they're not. Because the reason why they're not professional is because they got quotas, because they have to justify, the amount of time that they spend on a phone call, because, they got to get the maximum amount of commissions. I understand that too. This is why, I don't believe that things that are mandatory should be involved in competitive marketing. I just don't believe that. I think it should be standardized, right? The same way that they standardize, the margins, right? I was looking on there. Okay, they said if you make like 15,000 a year, right? But then they don't tell you. This is what they don't tell you, that it is your net, meaning, your medical expenses will offset your income, period. Right? Period. But they don't tell you that. Instead, they want you to fall into a category where you're getting charged. Now, it depends, like if they feel like, you're one of their homies, or if they feel like you family, or if they feel like you all speaking the same language, then they got a deal to give you. Right? Because some people out here are getting free medical. And the sad part about it is our American public is not giving it to the people that need it. This is my whole point. This is my whole rant. My whole rant is that there is free stuff available out here for the people that need it. Right? Now, here's an example of that, right? An example is you got somebody that's a homesteader, right? They don't go to work. They're living off grid, right? Somehow they're making money. However they're making money, they don't have to claim it, because all they need to do is hide behind the homesteaders, right? So that they don't pay their taxes on their property, right? And as long as they find ways to hide their income, they're cool. And they're the first people, believe me, they're the first people that show up at these pantries. They're the first people that show up at these food banks, right? They're the first people that will sit up there, that have the time, and that will not only get their stuff for free, but then try to resell it to their friends and neighbors at a profit. Even if they have to repackage it. And they are excellent at repackaging goods. They really are. Because I've been watching these homesteaders and these preppers and stuff. They're going up there, and every week they're talking about, this is what they got from the food bank. This is what they bought from the food pantry. This is what they bought from this agency where they can buy food that, kind of looks weird, kind of looks weird, but supposedly still good. Anyway, that's my second rant for today. Okay, I could not go in there and just get the coffee. I got the coffee. I got me a bag of potatoes. I also got some sweet butter pickles, right? And I think that's it. Oh, and I got me some more cranberries, or dehydrated cranberries. Yeah, because I am running low on those. I am looking at about, I think I only got like a half a cup of dehydrated cranberries. So I am hoping they're making it seem like this is already the holiday weekend. That's what it kind of feels like, right? Except school was still in, right? I think school will have tomorrow. Then I think they're out for the week, right? Now, one of the things that I wanted to do was do this recreation of the Little Caesars I forget what you call them. But I'm getting ready to go not buy them, but I'm gonna pass by Little Caesars, and if they have the name of this thing that they make that I just love, right? And this lady, she did a recreation of the bits, and she made it look so simple, so easy, that all you need is a some muffin pans or muffin cups. Let me see what they're called. They are called, let me see what they're called. I don't know why I parked. Oop. I parked like I was getting ready to pick something up, but I'm not. But they are called, they had it up there, but their screen, they got a digital screen, and it changes. But anyway, they are so good, and you get like 6 of them for like $4.99 or something like that, right? And they're like the best muffins you can eat. Yeah, they're like the best. So the reason why, I am, buying some potatoes is because I had frozen some potatoes, and what I did was I had defrosted them when I should have just cooked them while they were still frozen, because they ended up getting brown. They ended up getting oxidated, and they were ugly. And I was like, I can't eat these. So, yeah. So I ended up buying a 10-pound bag of potatoes for $3.25. Some dehydrated carrying raisins for $1.69. Some pickles for $2.29. And something else. I think I'm missing something. They had these cookies in there. They got the cheapest cookies almost in town. If you want to get some cheap cookies, Aldi's got them, right? I mean, Aldi's doesn't have like the super pack like Walmart might have. Walmart had the super pack, and you spend like $3 for 100 cookies, okay? But Aldi's, they will give you like some good cookies, and you can buy some good cookies under $2 if you want. $3. $3. You can get some good cookies. So yeah, gotta make sure I still get my coffee. I don't know what I'd be if I'd probably be better off if I didn't have the coffee, because the coffee kind of stimulates, my addictive personality. Could be, right? So one of the things I was asking questions, I was like, I know that as we get older, they keep saying that, our bodies break down and we could become allergic as we get older, right? So I was trying to figure out, how do I know that, I could go to an allergy specialist, right? And I'm tired of the trial and error presentation that they have out here. And then when you put yourself in a pickle, they make it seem like it's your fault. It's like you wouldn't give me the information that I needed. Then they're like, well, you should have read. How am I supposed to read and you're not sending me any information? None of the people that I talked to sent me any information. It was all lip service. The figures was lip service. There was no guarantee about nothing. Right? Nothing was in concrete. Right? In my mind, I'm like, well, I thought contractual law was, if you're buying a service over $500, you should be able to get a contract. But they're having you sign for the contract without even being able to review the contract. Shame on you, America. Shame on you. So anyway, Aldi's had one of my favorite girls back in there, and I had told her, I said, I was wondering what happened to all of the nice people. They had this guy in here, and he just looked mean. I said, it's nice that they brought back the nice people.